Thanks for joining, everyone. John here, software engineer with 10 years of experience. I'm the lead maintainer of Latterly.io, an open source educational platform to help you learn to code and land your first or next programming role. Today, we're going to make a custom GPT. On the Latterly website, under the free tier, you can see 24/7 support with an AI chatbot. The task in front of us today is to make that better. So this chatbot implementation is explained in this previous video, and it works using Claude. Claude is a long context chat model, and basically we use that large context window and we have a contextualized chat, and we prime it with Latterly information through context. What are some of the downsides of this? The main downside is that we miss out on the power of GPT-4. So GPT-4 does better in the benchmarks. It basically thinks better. So given a particular problem, GPT-4 will more frequently provide a more correct answer. For example, if I ask Claude and GPT-4 a similar coding problem, Claude may not be able to answer it at all. GPT-4 may not be able to answer it all, but more frequently, GPT-4 will give you a much better answer. And you can look at benchmarks and leaderboards and see things like this. Okay. Why didn't we use GPT-4 before? And the answer is that GPT-4 has a much smaller context window. And in our use case, that netted out a loss. Because Latterly has a lot of advice. And GPT-4's ability to think critically doesn't help if it doesn't understand what Latterly has said. It basically doesn't serve the purpose. Because the purpose here is, hey, like one of the mentors on the platform like me, I'm busy and or expensive. So you don't want to book an expert session or anything like that. You want to access this free chatbot. That's the value prop. But you're still trying to get this sort of Latterly approved guidance based on the curriculum. There's just way too much information to fit in the GPT-4 context window. By the way, if you're on TikTok, you can go over to YouTube or Twitch, link is in my bio, and see the full screen. Okay, so that's the background. Oh, why are we changing it up now? I guess that would be the other question. The reason we're changing it up now is basically by popular demand. So there's the GPT-4 store, the GPT store, and there's been a lot of buzz online about this. And so I polled my followers on social media, and they asked for a custom GPT. So we're going to do it. And I would be interested. Let me know in the chat if you would be willing to kind of use both experiences and provide reviews. Because I'm not convinced, as cool as much progress as custom GPTs have made, I'm actually not convinced it's going to beat Claude. Isn't that interesting? It might, though. We'll have to see. Okay, that's the background. Now we want to create a feature branch for this. So I have 2 tickets called Better Chatbot. This one seems directly related to custom GPT, so I'll build a branch on this. Prior to starting the stream, I fetched main and reset hard on main, so you can see that I am on main at the tip of the tree. So I will get checkout -B. We're making a new feature branch labeled off of the issue, and this is going to be custom GPT. Now we can confirm I switched successfully. Looks good. We'll push, set origin. There have been no changes yet. Of course, we are simply prepping a pull request. Okay. And I want to get something pushed up so that I can make my pull request description, basically. And so what's our overall approach here? The approach is to reuse the existing implementation that supported Claude and update it. So the approach with Claude was to use the YouTube API to look at my YouTube shorts and basically go for sort of the highest quality ones using likes and views as indications of quality. Oh, let me put this on my watch later. That looks cool. By the way, here's my channel, Programming with John. And you can see the playlist that has the laterally related stuff. What is that thing called? There's the laterally long current, which is a big deal, and maybe we should use this. But these are not my shorts. These are my longer videos for laterally. And then there's a short playlist for laterally as well that has many, many, many more items. Here it is. I think it's just called shorts. Yeah. So you can see about 1,500 videos almost. Why do we like shorts? We like shorts because they provide a good entity that is compatible with vector search. And they provide incremental signal. So with an hour that's a single long form video, maybe I have 100 likes and 10 dislikes. That's not a very good signal, because what parts of that hour long video do people like and dislike? Do you see? By having 5, 10, 15, maybe 30-second videos, I can say, ooh, okay, this bit of information is really useful. So you get precise nutrients, as it were, informational nutrients. And I'm able to identify the best bits of information this way and search across them with a vector search, which I believe is what the Custom GPT is kind of going to do. We'll see. I think I also need to upload a CSV file or something. So some of that is escaping me. Maybe we should start by making a dummy one. Let's pull up Chat GPT and make a dummy one. Okay, so here I am. I have the premium, so there's GPT-4. And let's go to my GPTs and we'll create a GPT. I've made some before, but I deleted them all because I found that it wasn't a good experience, actually. The GPT builder is one of the things that I think did a poor job. So in the past, I've explained to it what I was trying to do, and it basically constructed instructions based off of what I told it I want my thing to do, which kind of makes sense, except the instructions were very diluted compared to if I had the same, if I had just refined my own construction, if I had refined my own instructions. So let's say I have refined instructions. It blurs them. It summarizes them and puts them over here. So it's better to just put them directly here if you know what you're doing. Okay, upload files. Yeah, I think I want mine to be able to run files. This is cool. I don't know if all of these were available for custom GPTs last time I did this. And I'm not sure what an action is. Let's take a look at that. Let's look at some examples. So the weather JSON retrieves weather. If this has the ability to interact with an API, that's awesome, because that has been a specific criticism that I've had of tool usage for GPT-4. For example, the Latterly community has a pet project called Arya's Tale. And if you go to the gallery and you roll art, this page can be used as an API. You see I can re-roll. Additionally, there is a search here. And so I can search for Thunder Mage, okay? And it would produce this result. These are tools that GPT-4 could use, but it's blocked by policy. Basically, being able to communicate to the user what this result is. Under the GPT-4 policy, that's traditionally been considered scraping, like web page scraping, communicating this information to the end user. And that sort of activity is disallowed under their policy. So I'm interested to see if it will let me do that with a custom GPT, or perhaps I can work with the API directly, like the network call, as opposed to reading the HTML. So let's go for this one. You see I have some raw JSON here. Get the weather. Call weather API with the get current weather operation. Okay, let's get out of this. That's really interesting. Let's do a regular GPT-4. Call this URL and show the data result. So it summarizes it. Okay, interesting. So, right, this is what I've seen in the past. It will summarize it, but it won't give me the literal JSON. Okay, let me delete that. So am I understanding that a custom GPT allows me to overcome that issue? That will be a fantastic reason to use custom GPTs now. That will make it knock Claude out of the park, if that is real. I guess we'll find out. So let's configure an action. No authentication needed for this, okay? Enter your own schema. Here's the, what does it mean, privacy policy? Okay, the Aria's tail privacy policy, all right. Not really sure why you want that, but okay. Okay, here's the Aria's tail private policy. Get help from Actions GPT. Helps you create open API specifications from documentation, code examples, curl, or just a description of how to use an API. Can I scrape HTML using a GPT action? Requires you to first have an API that facilitates this action. The GPT action itself does not scrape HTML, but it can interact with an API that performs scraping. Okay, cool. So if I do the scraping on my own server, that's like a good workaround, I think. If OpenAPI doesn't want to, they're like, we're not doing scraping, but we will hook you up with like a way to access your own tool. That sounds great. Very nice workaround. Kudos to OpenAI. This page has a search field, or it really has a search form. That search form yields a request like this once submitted. Can we build a GPT action that invokes the get images API? Ross, what's up? Is it possible to access the API from a custom GPT that's launched in the GPT store? I'm trying to figure out the answer to the same question. It's an excellent question. Based on the information you provided, it seems that getImages API is invoked by a search form. To create a GPT action that interacts with this API, we can draft Brodio. Okay, so let's see. This is obviously sort of like a test because this is a pet project, Arya's Tale. This will not be the final Laterally thing, but this is showing us whether we can deal with an API. And we might implement a similar API for Laterally. No such API exists currently. That's the reason for doing this sort of similar but not identical problem. Okay. It's saying untitled, but I want to see a result. Oh, right. What if I just do a like a naked request to get images? It's a bad request, right? I need to. Maybe I don't need to have a filter. The filter, I guess, is optional. Okay, well, let's save this thing anyway. So we'll do everyone, I guess, whatever. Category other, this will be for this will be for education eventually. Why is it not letting me save? That's weird. Okay, maybe because I need some instructions. Oh, well, it needs a name too, doesn't it? Okay, so this will be the Laterally Custom GPT. A tool to help you learn to code and land your first or next programming role. I encapsulate the knowledge held on Laterally.io and its open source sources, including this and this. Let's go for all of the above. Let's see if that is possible. So maybe the custom GPT instructions are the bit that can go in the repository to sort of kickstart the pull request. So here, let's go to the Laterally docs. We'll make a new file, which is custom gpt.md. What's this? We're making a chatbot. Will I be doing this? Looks confusing as fuck. You don't need to do this, no. You might use it. You might use it if you want to use it instead of like Chat GPT. But you wouldn't need to build it unless you want to. Okay. Oh, those were the instructions, weren't they? Sorry about that. So was that description or instructions? Okay, here's the description. Thanks for the likes. Okay, so this document, let's go ahead and spell it out. This document includes the name, description, and instructions used to create the Latterly Custom GPT. That's the right name. Yep. Accessible in the Open API chat. What is this called? Store. It's just the GPT store. Okay, great. Hey, Robert, thanks for the likes. So here, we're off to a pretty good start, eh? I still don't think this will work, but let's, let's give it the benefit of the doubt. Conversation starters. Sent a lightning bolt. Thank you so much. How can I learn to code? What language is best when learning to code? What language is best when learning to code? How can I identify a high quality coding bootcamp? What sort of projects should I include in my portfolio? I already know how to code, but after I learn to code, how do I obtain a job? That's 5 good conversation starters, don't you think? Let me know in the chat if you have a question that you would want to see as a conversation starter. Are you seeding this bot with your Latterly content files? Yes, I'm going to try to. We will see how it works. So you see the issue that I'm having, we'll test it out and we'll see how it goes. Here, under knowledge, I don't know that it works with various sorts of files equally well. So I made a chatbot for Arya's Tale that included an encyclopedia of game characters and monsters and items and geographical features and what have you for the Arya's Tale game world. And it was formatted as a CSV. And that would have meant that a trivial inspection should have been able to look up like whatever I want. But instead, the thing fumbled over and over, and it hallucinated over and over. And it didn't actually interrogate the CSV file at all. And I was really baffled. However, as I recall, at that time, Code Interpreter was not available for Custom GPT. And I haven't tried uploading just like a giant text file for knowledge. I haven't tried that. I think it explores this using a vector search, but I'm not sure. Here, let's see. Do custom GPTs use vector search? And I would think that a CSV that's broken down really well is super compatible with vector search. So I was really confused when it didn't work out very well. I would think that that would work better than having, say, 4 enormous files. And GPT ahead of time has no way to know like which file to investigate. So it's going to like search on all these files. I don't know. Maybe that works better for some reason. It can like zoom in to a portion of the file. I don't know. I think I had to restrict external web access so it wouldn't combine knowledge with external sources. Good tip. Maybe we'll do the same. Good tip. Enhancing GPT assistance with vector search tools. The GPTs are indexed via a vector database, so they can be searched via topic. Let's see. Where am I, dude? What even is this? Okay. Okay, that's not helpful. That's not helpful. We'll construct a vectorized knowledge body conversational AI agent created with OpenAI's new Assistance API and using a custom tool. How old is this thing? November? This is confusing to me. Why would I need to do this? Isn't this exactly what a custom GPT does? Isn't this exactly what a custom GPT does? So this is basically like building your own chatbot. Let's see. How does custom GPT explore attached knowledge? Yeah. How does the knowledge of custom GPT actually work? Do they just give the text to the model as context to use, or is it more sophisticated? Do they see? This is a really good question, because if I have so much content and it's just fed as context, it's not going to work very well. Does that make sense? One would assume it's the same sort of strategy to implement a RAG system. Split it into chunks, convert the chunks to embeddings. When a user submits a query, convert it to embeddings. So this is a vector search. Right. I don't know. Man. I guess we just need to build one to find out, eh? I guess that's why we're here. Yeah, that's why we're here. The information out there doesn't seem very high quality or accessible or clear. Let's see. We'll give it one last try. Well, it's got 0 votes, so that's going to go bad. Have external AI calls like plugins. This is, if we can get this to work, this is an awesome feature. And even with the context problem, we can work around all that other stuff if we can do this, these external API calls. So let's hang in there. Actions. And what will we, I just lost my stuff? Oh, bro. Okay. Or did I not write it down? I don't know. Let's do this. How can I learn to code? You can tell the GPT to search the knowledge files, and if it can't answer, respond with A. Yikes. That would be terrifying. Why is the user quality rating score like a 1 out of 10? Okay, here's some good conversation starters. So we have the name, description, instructions. I think these instructions need to be improved, but we'll go with it for a first pass. And the app, so let me save. Let me click the save button. Why is it in research? Oh man. My bad. Let's edit. Change you into the education. Okay. It kind of is education. It kind of is programming. We'll go with education. I think it's closer to education. Laterally Custom GPT. We can edit the logo. Critical feature here, right? Select domain. Okay, sure. Ooh, DNS, fun for the whole family. How will I do this? Cloudflare. All right. Did my finger change? Okay, it didn't like my fingerprint there. Laterally, we are going to the DNS. We are adding a TXT record. Here is the content. And what will the name be? Let's close this thing. Actually, let me give that Reddit guy a vote up because this actually did help. It did help. If the main point is the fact that you can call an API, then I get it. I get it. It's still not as good of an experience as in context work because the in context work is immediate, right? If I type something, it immediately spits back. And so I'll have to wait. It'll have to wait to like consult the Laterally API and call it out and process it. Still, I actually think that's an improvement over Claude because Claude is contextualized, but the user has to like upload the context, which has been really painful. It's gotten very little usage. Okay. What name may I provide for this? It doesn't seem to care. So I will call it O for root. Yeah. Let's do that. Let's do root. Open API domain verification. Since you can test it to the side, does it have to spin up your GPT each time it's called? Let's find out. Exciting. We're learning. We're learning together. Yeehaw. Whoa, that was super fast. Cool. Okay. We're not going to send feedback there. You can provide feedback on the website if you want. This is my personal email. I want it to go to my Laterally email, john@laterally.io. Feel free to email me there. And there's an open GitHub issue to add like a contact form as well. Drop a note in the chat if you think I should be prioritizing that over this. Okay. The logo. Can we get a logo? Oh, these are like my personal settings. What? Personalize your builder profile. Okay, fine. Well, I wanted to give it a logo, but whatever. What is the task you're trying to achieve? We are building a custom GPT that encapsulates the knowledge held on Latterly.io and its open source sources. Is there a better way to phrase that, by the way? It's open source sources, just feels awkward. Okay, we're creating a new action. I think that's fine. You can take my data open API. Let's update this so that the action has a better name. I guess not. Okay, let's try it out. Here's the Latterly Custom GPT. And then the question is it going to look up anything Latterly has to say? I haven't added this to the knowledge base. Okay. Where's the conversation starters? Okay, here we are. How can I learn to code? Learning to code is a great journey, and Latterly provides a structured pathway to help you become proficient. Bro! Okay, it actually referred to the shorts list. I don't know why it. Latterly's YouTube playlist, Basics of Programming. That's not what this playlist is, but okay. It said it as if it were a name, right? That's not the name. Choose a programming language. As per the Latterly curriculum, starting with JavaScript is recommended because it's versatile and widely used in web development. You can find resources in the Latterly slides. Yo, this is sick, dude. That was a really fast recall. I'm concerned, bro. I'm actually concerned. That was wild. I thought it would have to like make a call somewhere. It didn't, right? What tools have you used to build this? Just the OpenAPI Chat GPT Custom GPT builder. That's it. Practice coding by doing exercises in small projects. Use resources like Latterly's project-based learning approach and their repository Latterly 3. Nice. Do you have an index of videos for it, or did it web crawl for them? I don't know. I don't know how it did that. I have an index, but I did not attach it. I don't know how that happened. Do you think MERNstack in today's market will get a junior hired? If it's a good project, it can. Yes. I don't think it's the best stack. Please don't misunderstand me. But you can use that stack just fine. And if your project slaps, you will definitely get a job. Unless you're like a jerk in the interview or something. No, even then you'll probably still should get a job, at least at the junior level. Okay, so understand the basics, choose a program. This is good. However, it should point the user directly at the checklist. It should point the user directly at the checklist. Join a community, prepare for an interview. All of these steps are great. All of these steps are great. Does Latterly have a checklist? As of my last update, Latterly does not offer a specific checklist in the traditional sense of learning to code. Yes, it does. Are you working on the donation platform? Nope. This is a different project. This is Latterly.io. This is an educational platform. And you can go sign up today, by the way. Quick plug, you can sign up for free and access the legacy chatbot I think probably this new chatbot, I'm going to put it under pay what you can. And there's other stuff that you can get on the premium, like you can get a free session with me, limited time only. So a session is like $60, right? I think, if I'm remembering. Oh, it's $80. It's $60 after the discount, so you get a 25% discount. So I don't know. Is that an $80 value or a $60 value? I don't know. It's a free session, dude. It's a really good deal. It's a really good deal. So check that out as well. Wow, dude, that was the worst ad I've ever run. Okay, I apologize to your ears for that. But yeah, you should sign up at Laterally. Okay. So there's some good stuff here, but we need to improve it. Okay. We're getting a play test. This is actually really useful. We're going to benchmark it against after we do the indexed information. So now let's say, what projects does Laterally recommend? The answer is blog. A portfolio site, yes, that's right. Browser-based games is not correct. Tic-tac-toe or a memory game is straight up hallucinated. I don't recommend you make tic-tac-toe. I don't recommend it. Okay. I see what's going on. Laterally recommends JavaScript. And so GPT has just suggested some JavaScript programs, but this is not directly recommended in the Laterally curriculum anywhere. Developing single page applications? No, bro. No. I love how bad this is because it's giving us a benchmark. Blog. Okay. Well, look at that. It does mention a blog. But that is like far and away the main recommendation. So I guess it kind of, so the blog and then the personal portfolio are basically, and then there's three that are recommended, by the way: a blog, a personal portfolio site, and a capstone. Open source contributions and group projects, yes, are recommended, so that's good. I don't know. On a scale of 1 to 10, it's above a 5. It's not a 10. It's not a 9. I don't think it's an 8. But we're kind of in the 6 to 7 range. So let's see if we can make this better. What's up?
Dinner's ready.
Dinner's ready. Awesome. All right, I'll be out there shortly. Okay, so let's see if I can edit this or give it a logo. That's the most important piece. Bilaterally.io. I love that it says bilaterally. Actually, that makes me like it more than Claude anyway, from the supplier provider side. I don't know if students will care as much, but the branding is awesome. And I'm really blown away at how quick it is. Although it may slow down after we add knowledge base. Select which third party. Oh, let's also see if we can do that. Can you call get images for Arya's Tale? Get images on the aryastale.com website. Oh, I've never seen it do this. Are you going to use the same Laterally logo or have it generate one? I'd ideally like to use the same branding. I've attempted to retrieve images, but unfortunately the request did not succeed due to a technical issue. Let me, before we go to the knowledge base, let me give it one more action. The issue with the image search is that it requires a bit of a complicated argument set. query parameters. So let's see if I can find that Thunder image thing. So look at the URL here. Look at after the question mark. It's a bit complicated, isn't it? And I think that has like messed up the conversation. But there's a different one. Get random image. This one requires no argument. There's actually two others. So let me add these other actions. Import from URL. How about this one? Import. Please don't override it. Did you override it? Are you sure you want to delete this action? I don't know, dude. Reset. Invalid action. It auto-saved. No. Command Z doesn't work. We're dead. Build an action for this. Oh, okay. The manifest includes multiple actions. Add another action to this manifest. I'm referring to this configuration item as a manifest, and you can see here's the paths, get images. Okay. I'm starting to understand this Open API spec. Add another action to this manifest based on. So it's doing research. Great. Do your research, buddy. Hang in there. You can do it. I believe in you. Or GPT-5. One of y'all will take care of it. If you can't do it, your successor will. And then here's the arch role. So let's go to the network tab for that. And I think it's a simple call as well, if I'm not mistaken. Let me clear this out, hit the reroll. Here it is, open and new tab. Great. So it's added a manifest, add one more based on this URL. I got to go get dinner soon, so I won't be able to audit this manifest that it generates. To see how it parameterizes these strings. So we got get art roll, get images. There should be three: get random image and get art roll. Perfect. Cool. And this will be another thing that I can do here. Actions manifest. Okay. Actions. This is a YAML, I believe. Looking pretty good. Should have 3 actions in there. 1, 2, 3. Looking pretty good. We're saving that. Let's view it. Use the get random image action. Pulls it right up, no problem. That's an easy way to communicate too. Use the get random image action. Oh, I need to say always allow. Sorry about that. Where did the image go? I can't. The image vanished. Okay. That was the most complicated way of doing this. All right. So with torture, and it didn't work. Um, wow. That was the worst user experience since like bidding on eBay. Like that was so bad. Um, I think I can fix that up. I think it'll take some time, but I think I can fix it up. Because you can build the gallery URL through the information here using the ID. It's just, you can't literally go here. So if I go to the gallery, and random image. Yeah, it needs to be, you can express the URL this way. So anyway, this is looking really good. It looks like, let's not get ahead of ourselves. It's looking good so far. I need to attach the knowledge graph and ensure that we can efficiently explore it, which I will do in the next stream. So follow the channel, and I may do that later today, or I may do that tomorrow. If it passes that test as well, we're in business. And I think it's going to be much better than the Claude experience at that point. Thanks.